Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS, this time featuring Robotech, episode 66, Hard Time. Nothing to it but to do it, friends. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you when it's time to watch some cartoons. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to watch some Robotech as we watch the 66th episode, Hard Time. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Fanfare! Challenge. I'm not sure what that was. All of a sudden, I'm in an 80s dance-off, which I would win. Never think otherwise. Really enjoying New Generation. Completely different take, different feel. I heard somebody online compare it to kind of like the Vietnam type of era or kind of comparison for this leg of Robotech. I agree with that. Squad-based hit-and-run tactics, very, having to pick up supplies that you find in the field. I mean, these things are, this is like an isolated squad sort of behind enemy lines. We're in an occupied zone, which is Earth. Interesting stuff. I like the approach of it quite a bit. Very different, setting it apart from everything else. Nice, nice, nice. And I like the characters, which, thank God.
They removed protoculture from a maximum security stronghold.
They should have a ton of cells now.
Utilizing armored cyclones and a recharged Alpha fighter, the Invid shock troopers were dealt a swift defeat without any damage to the Robotech mecha.
I'm not sure easily dispatched is the,
During the battle, Scott and his friends try to relax and plan their future strategy as they attempt to reach Reflex Point and defeat the Invid.
Very cool. Okay.
You mean just to build a fire I have to use a special kind of wood?
Well, yeah, sort of. The best wood for campfires is conifer that's old and dry. So why don't you go look for some dead pine or redwood?
Yep.
By the way, what do pine and redwood look like?
Rand, go with her.
No peeking.
Awesome, a camp shower.
Can't the guy have a little privacy, huh?
Excuse me. You all people modest?
The back is really good. The back talking the...
Things have changed a lot since then.
Oh, do you know this place?
No! Now listen, I don't want to sit around and watch the Red Snake Gang take over. Romy, what about the Rumble tomorrow?
The Rumble?
You must be hungry. Come on, doesn't this piece of meat smell good?
No!
Now it's all dirty.
I'm not sure the backhand was necessary.
I think this is different.
How's this any different?
Just a feeling. Rook? Hey. Rook?
Tread with care here, Scott.
You're in another world. Uh-oh.
You know what that's like, dude.
Marlene.
Uh-oh.
Did it spot you? Knock this thing out before it can report in.
See us, please.
Oh, cool gun, Rook had. I don't think I've noticed that before.
It's okay.
Now, let's assume they found us.
Yeah, the heat from the...
The Invid are coming back. I don't want to be here. All right, let's get going.
So much for dinner. Well, it didn't look too appetizing anyway.
Oh, we gotta eat, Lancer, or people are gonna start passing out.
Every time I think about it, I get furious.
So it's like a gang war?
What am I doing? I've got to get my mind off the past.
Well, that's the thing about the past. Usually has a very, very firm grip.
Where's Rook? I'd better go check.
I'm sure Scott's like a Navy SEAL. They left nobody, like, to keep watch. That seems dangerous.
Wonder what's going on now.
I don't know, people are starting engines up in the middle of the night.
What a dumb place to build a city.
Is it a city, or is this where they used to... Is this where her gang is from?
Ghostly old city lies the resolution to Rook's preoccupation with the past.
Rand, how the hell are you going to find her in here?
Oh, Romy.
Oh, he's alive? He's going to have a family. He'll have a family.
My
Yep.
sister Lily? Oh.
Lily? He'll have a kid, too. Watch. Oh, maybe not, but...
I wonder if this is where Rook was raised.
Maybe let her suss this shit out for herself. Jesus.
You snakes haven't changed a bit, have you?
Take him out, Rook.
The gang wars aren't like before. Since you left, the Red Snake's numbers have multiplied almost 5 times.
Huh?
Red snakes.
You're kidding. Well, what are the Blue Angels and Romy doing about it?
There are no Blue Angels. Yep.
Romy just spends all his time with your sister and doesn't have any desire to fight with the Red Snakes anymore.
Lily is her sister? Holy shit.
Romy, how could you let the Red Snakes just take control of this place?
Welcome back.
I've heard that there's 5 times as many of them as there used to be.
I worried about you.
We're having 2 different conversations.
No, sis.
Huh? Lily?
He was really worried. He must have mentioned your name a million times or more.
I'll bet.
Okay, so she's young. They're probably not together.
Ain't nobody gonna help you.
Oh, God.
It wasn't like that at all. Romy didn't run away. He tried to help you, but he was ambushed by the Red Snakes. They tied him up so he couldn't get away. The Red Snakes picked the place for the rumble, but they attacked the Blue Angels by surprise before they got there. And then you were the only one who came, so they picked on you and made it sound like Romy was a coward.
Lily, that's enough.
Are we going to tell the truth? I mean, enough. We should probably, put all of our cards on the table here, everyone. We have 2 different interpretations of what happened.
This should be interesting. This time I'll make sure she knows what fear and pain is about. Find Rook and let the games begin.
It's interesting design on this guy. All right, so they're coming.
I want Rook. Find her for me immediately.
All right. Careful what you wish for, because those all seem to be motorcycles and not cyclones.
What?
Run for it quickly! The Red Snakes are out to get you! They'll be here any minute!
Battle music. Take him out, Rook.
What?
Hop on!
Huh?
Close your mouth and hop on!
I don't know who you are.
Oh, I see. Well, it happens that I don't like people who are afraid to meddle. I mean... Huh? What's that?
That's the opposite of what Annie does. Oh, shit. We're down 2 cyclones, everyone. Protoculture. We need to figure out a way to camouflage that shit, man. And we lose that alpha fighter. Woo!
No good. Can't shake him off my tail.
Come on, Scott.
I'll bring her down.
You're bringing the Invid in to a city. Yeah, baby. I like that. Give me a tortured warrior. I'll take that any day.
A lot of guts coming here by yourself. I didn't think you had it in you.
I'd say you're the one who's the coward.
He's got the armor on.
Have it out here in front of all these guys, just you and me one-on-one. I'll even make it easy on you. We'll have a chicken race. I challenge you to ride that beam on our cycles.
That beam is at least 15 stories high.
And if you fall, it'll be all over.
Don't move! Stay where you are! Let them fight it out alone, and may the best one win!
Nice.
I won't blow it, Romy, don't worry. My riding skills aren't as bad as they were before. I've gotten a whole lot better since you gave me those lessons.
Damn. I don't like that. I used to be terrible at this, but I'm okay now.
Huh?
All right, Rook. I'll take you up on your stupid chicken race.
Wasted most of my missiles on only one hit.
All right, let's go for a sure shot then.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Ah! Oh, you're gonna die, dude.
They're gonna blow me apart!
The dude that stole the protoculture. They're gonna see what a badass Rook is now. See the error of their ways. Ooh. Oh my God, did you see it turn up into that, like, that jutting piece? It, like, split itself.
Oh, what on earth are you crying about?
Oh, I don't know. I just... Oh.
Lily, I have a person I love very much.
Huh?
Rand, come here. Come on.
Hey!
Give me a kiss like you always do.
What?
On the cheek, right now.
Huh?
Huh?
You want to play? That's what Rand said.
Rook is my baby and always will be. Come on, honey, let's get back to the ranch.
The ranch. All right.
Where are you going?
Bye-bye, Lily.
See ya.
Have fun surviving without me.
I said give me that kiss on my right cheek.
Gee, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood what you were talking about, huh, Rook?
You pea-brain. And just when did you meet my mother?
Oh, I just met her yesterday.
Sure. Mama!
Oh, he wasn't bullshitting.
Say something.
Oh.
Rook? Hey, Rook, come back. Where are you going?
Okay. Complicated relationship.
She told me to tell you to just take care.
Huh? Oh. And I always thought she was so ashamed of me for the way I behaved.
Well, this little moment's not going to help.
I love you so much.
Maybe go back and tell her that?
But now I've got a new family that needs me more than ever. There's Rand, the boy you met the other day. He's a nice enough guy, and he knows how to take care of himself for the most part. And then there's all the rest of my strange new family. How could I leave Annie alone with that pack of undisciplined rebels? She's like a little sister to me. And be the big sister I never was to Lily. Heaven knows she needs all the help she can get.
If that's a dynamic, I'm definitely down for it.
So you see, Mom, it's not as though I've given up on people. It's like I've got a whole new family to take care of.
Are they talking to one another and she's just narrating?
Don't worry about me, though, because I'll be back to pick up the pieces and start over again once this war is over.
Famous last words. All right, everybody, we just finished the 66th episode of Robotech Hard Time, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just finished Hard Time, the 66th episode of Robotech. Okay, so we got some backstory on Rook. That was pretty good. I'm not sure that they handled it real well, where Rook thought that her, especially her mother, felt a specific way about her behavior, I guess, when she was a gang member. But it turns out that she absolutely proved her mom right. And drove right past her at the end there. So interesting stuff. I mean, you want to take control of the character sometime and be like, listen, you're in a war, life and death situations. Maybe go back and tell your mom, tell Romy, tell Lily exactly what you're thinking right now in your head. So it's obviously the truth, and maybe make everybody feel a little bit better, including yourself. I like the continued kind of feel that we're getting here. It's a complete, we're never on solid ground. Everything is, the instability in this show is like a running kind of prominent characteristic. Because, no matter how much fun we start off, we're in this beautiful kind of setting, we're having a campfire, people are in their feelings a little bit with Rook. We have some comic moments with Lancer making the camp shower, and then that banter between he and Lunk in the background, I thought was very, very good. And then of course the Invid attack. There's no kind of like peace. There's no, requiem. There, you are absolutely in it. And, even though you might have moments that are peaceful, there is no like lasting peace or lasting rest. And so, they are thrust into these constant fights and constant skirmishes, I guess I should say, since, we haven't really had like a full scale blowout, because if the Invid ever decided to attack this group in force, I mean, it's over, because there's only so much Scott can do in the Alpha Fighter. Scott's a very capable pilot, but I don't want to, kind of hint that he's not or say that he's not. But though he was up against three Invid and was having problems. And I don't mean by problems he couldn't handle the three Invid. I'm just saying that with three enemies facing you, it takes time for him to dispatch them. They come at him with 30, he's dead, because there's just no way he could avoid all the angles, avoid all the shots. Even he couldn't go on the offensive at all. He'd be completely defensive if they put up enough birds in the air. He'd be struggling just to stay, alive at that point. So they've got to be really careful. And plus, like I said during the reaction, the loss of the Alpha Fighter, or if the Alpha Fighter were to get damaged to the point where it's not as effective as it is right now, they're in deep shit, because the Cyclones, while they can, the Cyclones are sort of like the Invid versus the correlation being how many Invid it would take to take down the Alpha Fighter as piloted by Scott is almost the number of Cyclones that it takes to take down a single Invid. We've seen single Cyclones take off and take down single Invid, but it takes time. It's certainly not something that's quick. They got to scramble. They got to usually use most of their like micro missile ordnance and things like that. I mean, it's not like they just turn around and fire and Invid drops, fire, Invid drops. We have not seen that. I mean, is it possible to one-shot one of these things? I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I don't know if the Cyclones pack that type of punch. They're great. They're fantastic for this type of like skirmish and fight and things like that. But at the same time, they are certainly not like heavy mecha. I mean, they would be in deep shit against multiple Invid. Now, I mean, again, these are all my observations. These are things that I've looked at. They may very well be able to stand up against, Invid and whatnot. However, I look at it too like this. While Rand and Rook, for that matter, are learning about these vehicles and how to fight in these vehicles, Scott's the only one that really like understands like the full like tip to tail what a Cyclone can do. He's the only one to my knowledge that can fly the Alpha Fighter. And so, with all of that being said, you've got mecha that are outclassed by the Invid 1v1, and you've got novice pilots. Now, Rook seems to be more advanced. She seems to have, maybe learned on her own, or, really kind of taken the time to really get to the feel of her Cyclone. Rand is obviously still learning. Lancer seems to be a very capable fighter, but we just haven't seen enough from him yet. Scott being our number one combatant, obviously it's going to have to be skirmishes, or we're in big trouble, because we don't have the equipment or the skill to really stand up in the numbers that would be needed to fight a full-scale engagement. There's just no way. So with all that being said, I really, really dig the way that they're setting this up. Like the idea that Rook was saying, oh, I've got a new family, and going through like how she feels about everybody. That sets the stakes for us too. That makes the audience look at them as a family. This is the first time we've had mention of them being a family-esque unit. And it comes from one of the most closed-off members of said family. Rook has been very kind of tight-lipped the entire time. She's been a little snarky, but at the same time, we're starting to get an idea and a hint as to why. She's had this kind of, not tragic backstory, but, very kind of not linear, I mean, we're not sure, sure, the Blue Angels and the Red Snakes fought one another, but they're gangs. Like, what was their... Were they raiding? Were the Blue Angels raiding? Or were they like guardian angels? Were they helping to protect? We don't know that. The main thing being that they're doing their damnedest here to really push forward the narrative of the group, giving us the single kind of backstories that we need, little hints here, little hints there, big hint today with Rook, but also at the same time continuing to develop the world. The world is post-apocalyptic. The world Earth has been through in the past couple decades, numerous destructive moments, numerous kind of like terminus event type things, in the form of like the first couple wars, the devastation that was wrought by both the Zentradi and then the Masters and now the Invid. I mean, there's no way we couldn't be in a post-apocalyptic world. Now, there's elements of it, we still have nightclubs and bars and things like that, but very, Thunderdome, very Bartertown type of situations, a little bit more civilized. I compared it before to the original Mad Max, where, there's still pockets of civilization, but everything's being run by the gangs. That's reinforced in this one with the Red Snakes being basically the de facto power in that town. All in all, it's a very cool approach because it's different. Like I said at the very top of the top of this episode, we have a very different feel to this war. It's something that is best defined as a string of skirmishes as opposed to these galactic battles that we're kind of used to. We don't have limitless supplies. We don't have limitless personnel, seemingly limitless personnel. We've got these people that we really have to trust. They have to begin to trust one another. I think Rook was sort of like the last kind of domino to fall in that one because she seemed to be the one that had a trust issue to begin with, which now we know why. But, as they begin to build up, I often wonder, we didn't have any major deaths in Masters. Other than the end, we had, Emerson and Zor, kind of fell at the very end of the campaign as casualties. Zor by his own hand, really. I don't know yet. I mean, we've had Marlene pass in this one, again, we had a lot of deaths in the air, but they necessarily weren't from people that we had grown invested in yet. I mean, I had a bit of an investment in them because they were sent by Rick, it's like, oh, okay, so these are the people that had been with Rick and, these are the ones that have been fighting and blah, blah, blah. And so I felt a little bit of a loss because I kept saying, are we sure Marlene's gone? Yes, she's gone. Or it seems to be. I mean, I don't know. I'll hold out hope. Who knows? Maybe they can find her. But at the same time, with this group, I'm wondering, do we have that same level of mortality in this group? Are we going to see somebody in this very close-knit group go down? I mean, this group is already kind of on that trajectory of being like the 15th, a very close-knit group that knows one another very well. And I think that this episode, Hard Time, really kind of lent itself to be like that bridge. Like, okay, we're a collection of individuals, but we're much like Rook went across that real narrow bridge 15 stories up. This gives us kind of a link. Like, okay, they're beginning to evolve into a family. Again, with Rook being sort of like that one kind of walled off, I don't want to get too close to you type of person who's now beginning to admit to herself, which is the biggest admittance that you need to make, that she considers these people a family. She considers Annie like a little sister. She sees the ability to maybe get some measure of redemption in the kind of the relationship she should have had with Lily being her younger sister. She might potentially be able to repair, at least, emotionally or in her soul, repair that type of thing that she missed out on with Lily with Annie. And that, friends, is bridging that gap. All in all, I do believe that New Generation is off to a very, very promising start. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now. And now, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye from Robotech this time. So where should we say goodbye from New Generation? Well, friends, I'm going to rewind us all the way back to the top of the episode. We are sitting down. We are members of this blossoming family. We are sitting down around the campfire, and we are getting ready to bite into our hunk of meat. Friends, I leave it up to you whether or not it's tasty or, as predicted, disgusting. Until such time as we can watch this again, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.